Hey everyone, my name's Derrick Ivey. I am a board certified clinical hypnotherapist, researcher, and intuitive. So I'm here today to talk all about hypnosis and weight loss. How can hypnosis help you on your journey to losing the weight that you know you can lose and creating the life that you absolutely love on all levels? So let's get right into this. Now, when we're talking about using hypnosis to lose weight, we're using the unconscious mind to achieve what you consciously want to create in your life. But maybe it's a little bit harder to do, or maybe you've already tried consciously to make these changes and had no results as a result of it. So, wherever you're at on your weight loss journey, weight is a huge issue in our country. There's absolutely this huge culture of consumerism that just pushes more and more at us every single day. Where the money is at in our food system is in highly processed foods, um, meaning it's so much cheaper to buy a highly processed meal and something that you might not feel as good about putting in your body because it's quick, because it's easy, because it's affordable. But then your health takes the hit, your self-esteem takes the hit because you're not where you know you could be, and you're not creating with your life what you know you could create deep down. Another reason why weight is such a huge issue in our country is just the hard emotions. And we've all been collectively traumatized through COVID and all of these things going on a global scale. And there's a lot of hard emotions that are coming up in the collective consciousness and also for people as individuals. And food can be a really soothing way to, at least for that moment, not fully feel what you're feeling. So, another reason why weight is such a huge issue is the images that we've portrayed of what a beautiful man or a beautiful woman is. And it doesn't necessarily you don't have to be a swimsuit model. That's not always realistic for everyone. Maybe that's some people's natural body type and that's healthy and that's what works for them, but that's not always the case. And when we use hypnotherapy for weight loss, we're not trying to achieve a certain outcome like that. And only you know what the right weight is for you. Only you know what's really healthy for you. So this isn't about pushing that swimsuit model type of expectation onto you. This is more about finding what works for your body, what's going to be sustainable, and what's going to help you live your highest expression, whatever that is for you. So, our weight affects us on so many levels. It affects our self esteem because we might be, like I said before, comparing ourselves to others and comparing our bodies to others and just looking at someone and being like, wow, why can I not be that weight? Why is it so hard for me and it's so easy for them? It affects our health if we're carrying too much weight around, if we have unhealthy eating patterns. That's absolutely going to affect our health on a deep level because we're not feeding our body the fuel that it needs, and it's getting way too many calories and too much heaviness for not enough nutrients. And that's one of the shifts that a lot of people like to make once they get into hypnotherapy with weight loss is they really want to see themselves eating fresher, healthier foods and less of these highly processed, boxed, and frozen type of foods. But there's no perfect weight. And just knowing that all of these cycles that we try to change the issue, like, going on a fad diet, going to the gym, and basically overexerting ourselves at the gym, all of that stuff is not going to be sustainable because, yeah, we might be able to go to the gym and do this perfectly for a week or so, but then we miss a day. It becomes easier and easier to slide further away from that commitment. And then guess what? We're right back to our same baseline with it. And that perpetuates the cycle of low self-esteem. There might be a lot of blame and shame around that for why can't I just get this? Why can't I really understand how to do this every day? Because it's something consciously, yeah, you really want this. Of course you do. You want to be healthy. You want to have high levels of confidence. You want to feel like you're making the right choices when it comes to your health. So it's natural that it brings us into that shame, but that shame is so toxic for us actually aligning with where we want to be in life and where we want to be as far as our weight, as far as our exercise habits, our nutrition habits, and all of that stuff. It's not going to help us. Beating ourselves up is never a factor for positive growth and change, as much as it feels justified, as much as it feels like, well, yeah, I'm not doing what I need to do. That shame is only going to keep perpetuating those cycles that you don't want. Um, so as you are beginning into this journey of weight loss, and if you want to try hypnotherapy and see how that works for you, you need to understand that there's going to be issues at every weight. So if you're at a 205 now and you're like, gosh, I would really love to be back at a 135, realize that there's still issues at the 135. They might be different issues than at the 205, but nevertheless, there's still going to be issues at every single weight. And this is about a holistic healing of your life, not only the weight. There are so many different factors that really are affecting your weight that you might think right now have nothing to do with your weight. And that's one of the benefits of using hypnotic healing for weight loss is you really are able to uncover a lot of those deeper root causes and heal them at a foundational level, because that's going to be a really sustainable change because it's made at such a deep subconscious level that it's going to change the filter that you view reality through. It's going to change how you interact with your world. So, the first thing I want you to think about is your why. Why do you want to lose this weight? How is this affecting you in your life? Are you trying to improve your lifespan and your health? Are you trying to reverse disease processes? Are you trying to improve your self-image or your self-esteem? And your why is always where we're going to start when we use hypnotherapy to help you lose weight, because your why is going to be a huge motivation factor to you actually making and sustaining this change. So you might want to just do some journaling and write out all of your whys. Why is it important that I lose this weight? Why is it important that I begin moving my body in healthy ways? Why is it important that I improve my nutrition? And what are some of those benefits that are going to come out of that? And not only what are the tangible benefits, but how is that going to feel in your body? How is that going to just change everything in your vibration when you really know what you're doing with this and you feel like you're on the right path with it? It's going to change everything. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people subconsciously procrastinate on working on this issue. They'll say, well, my diet starts tomorrow, because at some subconscious level, they know that it is going to involve a lot of deep work, that it is going to have to make changes at a deep foundational level. And if they're not fully ready yet, then they can easily make those excuses, and those excuses lie to them in their own voice. So if you have something like that going on, maybe you would benefit so much from getting some support with this, getting some accountability. Sometimes it's nice just to have someone there that reminds you that you're not going crazy, that this is doable, you're so worth it. All of those things are huge factors in the healing of it. Now, let's talk about some causes of why weight would be a problem that are on a deep subconscious level, and why hypnosis is the way to heal these. So, the first one is weight can be a subconscious way to keep others away. So think about when you are heavier, you have a bigger circumference around you. Your physical body is bigger. And subconsciously, that could be a way of you setting boundaries. There's a lot of people who earlier in life were victims of sexual abuse or physical abuse, or just a lot of trauma, and subconsciously they figured out that if they were a little bit bigger, then maybe they wouldn't be as attractive, maybe they wouldn't be as much of a target for perpetrators. And that's a really sad thing, because they're the ones that are suffering for it when originally they were the victim in a situation earlier in life. So if that's the case for you, and maybe you don't even know that's the case for you, but maybe watching this and thinking back and remembering things, now the puzzle pieces are starting to come together. This is absolutely essential that you're able to heal this, reframe this, and integrate that knowledge back up to present day on a deep subconscious level, because it is deeply subconsciously influencing you even today, if that was the case. And it's something you're not going to even consciously think about, but your body is listening to those subconscious programs, your mind is listening to those subconscious programs, and you might just have more issues with controlling how much you eat, because in controlling what you eat, that's actually a losing control um, in life, right? So the other reason why a lot of people have weight issues, and hypnotherapy is really good at helping with this root cause, is it's a subconscious way to soothe the pain from trauma. It's a soothing mechanism. So, food is often associated with comfort. You've heard the term comfort food. Maybe when you were a little kid, someone cooked a certain dish for you to cheer you up, or knew that you always liked a certain type of food. So food gets very deeply associated on a deep subconscious level with comfort, with a soothing mechanism. And when this becomes an issue is when there's a lot of inflammation of those trauma imprints, and a lot of those trauma imprints are being triggered to come up, then food can become this ever constant soothing mechanism. And it's not without cost, because it's actually making you gain weight. It's making you eat for emotional reasons instead of that you're actually hungry. So if you notice this going on, if you're really stressed out and you notice yourself just eating to soothe that, hypnosis is going to be very, very helpful in healing this, because what we're going to do is we're going to find for you, and every single individual is different. We're going to find what those root causes are for you. Like, what is the stress energy all about? What is this stress energy from? How can we alchemize that energy? How can we transform it? How can we uninstall those old programs that aren't very helpful, that are keeping us stuck in these cycles? And then how can we install the new programs that are much more in alignment with where we're heading? How can we find other ways to soothe that are much less harmful? Um, and food and eating addiction and things of this nature are very, very much like another type of addiction, like to smoking, to alcohol, or drugs. And essentially, what it's doing is there's this hole in your soul that you might not even be aware is there. And you're subconsciously trying to fill this hole with the substance, with the food, with the eating patterns, all of that stuff. So, something to be aware of, something to think about anyway. The other thing that a lot of people don't really tie this in is childhood experiences and neglect in childhood. Were there traumatic experiences that you had as a child around eating? I have worked with many clients that have this going on. They had no clue, they had forgotten about it. And then we take them into trance, we start doing the journey, and all of a sudden, these stories start coming out, and these scenes of them being a little kid and somebody threatening to force food down their throat, making them eat too fast, making them afraid that they're going to lose their meal if they don't eat fast enough. But then that eating pattern is still locked in. Um, Eating can also become an emotional outlet, it can become an obsession. It can be a control thing. That might be the only thing in someone's life that they have control over, is how much they eat and what kind of foods they eat. So food becomes linked in the subconscious mind as a mechanism of control. So some people with fear of losing control have huge weight issues because of that fear of loss of control. And they're subconsciously in control of this issue, but then it makes them out of control. So it actually works against them and not for them. So the hypnosis would help us find a way to feel in control, or find a way to let go of control and deal with life in healthier ways, eat in healthier ways that are more life-giving. So those are a few of the causes. I don't know if any of those resonate with you specifically, but just know that every single person that is on this journey of weight loss is going to have different motivations, is going to have different subconscious programs running that are responsible for this issue. And we don't always have to go back to all of these scary scenes of childhood and all of that. Sometimes we can work with the energy that's right here and alchemize that into more productive programs with subconscious suggestions. Um, but just like quitting smoking with hypnosis, I always tell people this is not the magic bullet that you're never going to have to do any work ever again, that you're going to get hypnotized and you're never going to have a craving for sugar again, or you're never going to want to eat 8 donuts ever again. It's like it's gonna take work. This is a process. This is a huge help in that process, but it has to start with you and your commitment to doing whatever it takes, just like anything. So hypnotherapy is able to make these changes at the deepest levels possible. And in order to do that, we're going to do sessions. You're going to have tapes to run at home for daily reinforcement. I think reinforcement is so, so important, especially with this issue. And these reinforcement tapes are absolutely customized to you and your subconscious because your subconscious is going to obey so much better from the way you would have worded something than a suggestion that I come up with because we all have different experiences. If I say the word dog, you're going to get a completely different picture in your brain than when I say dog. So if you're working with me for weight loss, we're going to spend a lot of time with really just getting to know you on a really deep level. And I'm going to be taking notes of how you word certain things. And we're going to get an idea for your current beliefs. And we're going to use all of that in the hypnosis to make it multiple times more effective. And also so you can reconnect with your deepest desires on a daily basis to keep you on track. And I think that's one of the big mistakes that a lot of people make and when they're trying to lose weight is they think up everything that they want and they only think it up once. And then they go out and they do it for a few days, but then they fall off because they forget that deeper motivation, what hypnosis is going to do, because every time you go into a hypnotic trance state, you are going to go deeper and deeper and deeper than you did the time before. You're going to massively reprogram that, re-cement that new program in your mind. And when your vibrational atmosphere is that much improved, there's no room for those old programs anymore. You are aligned with these new programs. These new programs become your new reality. And that's why it takes a commitment to this. You have to have that early commitment to this is what I want. This is what I'm doing. Because if that's not there, then we're already starting with a skewed foundation, and there's a lot of things that could go off path. When you're in this hypnotic state, the analytical part of your brain, and that's the part of your brain that's always thinking, what should I do? Where should I go? This is a problem, that's a problem. That part of your brain that's always chatting at you is out of the way. Hypnosis is a very deeply spacious meditative state, and it's actually the most powerful form of meditation where your analytical mind is fully out of the way, your subconscious is open and ready for suggestion that is going to change your life. So, all of this, when we're talking about weight loss and using hypnotherapy to lose weight, this is not a punishment. We're going to find ways that you enjoy to help you meet your goals and stay there. And the reason why they're going to be so sustainable is because they're absolutely personalized to you and your higher self version. So you're going to have a different goal and a different outcome than Susie Q over here. That you're going to have your own power and your own higher self energy guiding you through that process, showing you how to trust your intuition, how to do things in ways that you really enjoy. Because I don't want this to be a prison for you. This is a new, exciting time in your life. You're going to have the opportunity to be a better version of you. And I know that's scary. I know that's a lot of unknowns. But if you can just open to this and just become willing to try things a different way, you never know what could materialize. As humans, we're always afraid of the unknown, but when we're afraid of the unknown, we're blocking ourselves from the good things that could happen in the unknown. We are blocking ourselves from the gifts. So I really encourage you to open yourself to the unknown, knowing that the good things come from the unknown state as well. So nothing is wrong with you. You are exactly where your higher self wants you to be right now because there's lessons, there's growth in that contrast. There's growth in not liking where you're at right now with your weight because inevitably this is going to shift. You're going to become the next level version of you. And this is about loving your body. This is about saying, I love you, body. What can we do today? What kind of exercise can I take you through? Show me what you can do. How can I help support you? So, all of this is about bringing yourself back into the most optimum health that's possible for you. And always remember that that is for you. It's not for anyone else. You don't need to be a certain weight because somebody over here is that certain weight. You don't need to feel like you're defective if you have a different body type. And a lot of this, what we're going to be doing in the hypnosis is we're going to be helping you see and love yourself as you are through that process because we can only start from where we are. We can't start from already lost 10 pounds. We have to start here. And we have to be setting realistic goals that are manageable chunk by chunk, but before you know it, you're going to make so much progress and you're going to have a whole new reality. I'm so excited to see this happen for you. And if it resonates with you to do some work with me around this and you want my support, you want my expertise and guidance, then absolutely let's get into this. And you can book a free strategy call on my website. And this is absolutely no pressure, no obligation. This is just to get an idea of whether or not you think this will help you specifically at this time in your life or not. And you're not going to hurt my feelings if you tell me no. If we do the call and you're like, this just really isn't for me. But I encourage you to actually give this a chance because I have helped so many souls really come into alignment with this. One of my clients recently just lost 43 pounds. I've helped people lose smaller amounts over large periods of time. I've supported people losing bigger amounts of weight in shorter periods of time, but all of those were soul aligned for them. So that could be you too. And the time is going to pass anyway, whether you start today or not. So I highly encourage you to give yourself that chance, love yourself enough to start making those changes today, or at least start being willing to make those changes. And you're creating a whole new lifestyle. This is about way more than the weight. You're going to create a whole new energy that emanates from your aura. You're going to create new habits, new and exciting ways to fulfill your goals, to feel good about you, to be an example of well-being in our world. That's powerful. You're going to be able to keep this new you because once those changes are made at a deep subconscious level, it's no longer just something you're doing. That's who you are. That's what you do. And I can't wait to talk to you about this. If this is something you're struggling with, I'm just sending you a huge hug and letting you know you got this. So don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. It helps us get this work out to more souls all over the planet. And don't forget to like, comment, share this with your friends. If anyone you know could benefit from this information, absolutely share it with them. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for your time and all my best. Have a great day.